Monday afternoon. Oh, we got some football to talk about. My boy Jay Lynch is out here. Man, it's a serious week. It was a serious weekend. Too much stuff on NFL to talk about. This is Jayo Stoll Sports, your boy. Jayo Stoll is here, but we're gonna talk about college football. And come on, man. New
Yeah,
Year's Day. It's about to be serious on New Year's Day.
it is. It is. It is. Big day indeed, man. The Bama boys got in there barely, but hey,
We got
we
in.
thought Noah would get that Heisman, but he fell short. Of course, didn't even make it to the night. But again, they got into the playoffs, so that'll be a little chip on his shoulder to maybe take down Michigan. Maybe we see an upset.
That's your squad. That's
Michigan?
I know that's
Yo,
your squad.
yeah, hey,
Michigan's your
hey,
squad.
hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I
That's your
think
squad.
Michigan, number
My
one seed for a reason. Number one seed.
hey, I'll
But hey, man, it's scary hours. The Bama boys, roll tide, man. It might be a scary hours. Like I didn't think to get matched up with Alabama, so Michigan always falls short of getting over that hump and getting into I guess the college football championship and winning the whole thing. So who knows? That's the game I'm really excited about. Washington, Texas could be a high scoring affair as well, but I'm really excited to see this Michigan Alabama game. It's almost like an NFL match up there.
it's an NFL match, and it's basically the final because Bama, best team in the best conference, Michigan, best team undefeated in the second best conference in the nation. So now the CFB knows what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. Texas and Washington, both of those are squads, but no Pac-12 or Big 12 team has won the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I think they got it right with the squads. But
Mm-hmm.
the Heisman, let's talk about this Heisman. You thought JJ McCarthy was going to be there. I thought Milroe was going to be there. They weren't. But this is why I think this game's going to be crazy because they're going to have that fire for not getting into New York. So they're going to be riled up. You know this. There's certain little
100%.
things, like those great players, the littlest things can just get them going. So I think this is what is going to make them play out of their mind. And the whole world's going to see, man. The whole world's going to see why these teams are probably the best two teams in the nation. Who do you got in the Texas Washington game actually?
This is a tough one because Texas is playing lights out,
Yeah.
right? They beat Alabama, like they've had a great season,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to say that they lose this game. But again, you look at Washington as well; they've had a great season. Their offense, top receiver, top quarterback combo right there.
Bro, Odunze,
So
that's what's crazy. Odunze had better
yeah,
numbers than Marvin Harrison Jr.
I
But
know.
but
That's another
you
one.
know how it goes, man.
You
You
know how
know
the
how it
polys go,
goes.
man.
It's
Yeah,
just
the
the name. It's,
politics are the politics.
it's
Yeah,
just the
can't do it.
name.
Yeah, but if I had to pick, man, I want to say Texas. I want to say
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah, one
Texas
thing.
pulls off the upset.
Yeah. I know I could see it going either way. I don't know who's gonna win this one. But fun fact, Quinn Ewers, like I was looking up on 247 Sports, they do all the recruiting, they take care of all the transfer portals, all the high school recruits. And Quinn Ewers, highest ever rated guy, quarterback in out of any player ever.
Really.
Highest rated quarterback high school guy out of any player. Up there was like Vince Young was up there too. Him and Vince Young had a perfect high school rating.
Yeah.
He was a little bit higher. They were both like 1,000%. But yeah, man, Quinn Ewers, one guy to keep your eye out for, man. He's a problem. He had some injuries, but he's gonna be back. And he has the mullet, man. Like, you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying? He
Yeah.
has the mullet, bro.
Yeah. So he's ready to party. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, this Alabama game, I think it's just gonna be insane, man. Because you see in those rooms when they announce who you're gonna face, Michigan wasn't too happy. There was like a funeral in there, They're
Yeah. Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. It was like a satire, like, oh.
No, it's true, but hey man, if you're talking about like two head coaches, like not only do they have the top programs, not only do they have the top teams, but these guys, man, they're both been in the NFL. They've both been getting busy in college. It's just an ultimate matchup to watch, man. How you can't start your year any better than Alabama, Michigan.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's why I might have to change my tune. I know last time when I was on the podcast, I was saying Michigan has it. Now I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. Right? I saw Monroe make that big play to win the SEC championship against
Mm,
Georgia. Now coming
my
against
guy.
Michigan, like I don't see if anyone's going to get in their way. And I think we get a rematch of that great game that we had earlier in the season of Alabama versus Texas. I think that's where we get.
Been telling y'all, Milrow is my guy. That's my guy. He's going to the NFL. And trust me, he's not gonna be moving like how Bryce Young's moving. Because right now, Bryce Young cannot operate an NFL offense. Let's get to the NFL right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's talk
yeah,
about the NFC South. And it's a tie at the top, three-way tie. Y'all
hmm
are there, the Bucks, the
yeah,
Falcons. Who do you think is the most complete team out of I don't want to hear y'all because y'all were neck and neck with the
yeah,
Panthers yesterday for a good time. Like probably 6, 7 minutes left into the game. Y'all were neck and neck with the Panthers. Who
yeah,
do you think?
yeah,
Because you see Baker Mayfield throwing game-winning touchdowns to KI.
yeah.
So
Honestly, if I would have to go with anyone, I think the team that's had the most recent success in the NFC South, if we had to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just think they're just a better put together organization right now, and they're figuring out ways to get these wins. They had a big win yesterday against Atlanta in Atlanta, and again that kept their playoff hopes alive and it kept their chances of winning the division alive. I can't trust Derek Carr and the Saints. I can't trust the Falcons, even though they're well put together. Like the only missing piece for them is quarterback play, and they find a way to lose every single week. When they should win, they lose, right? And when they should lose, they win. So again, I can't really trust the Falcons to close it out. They do have, I guess, the best chances in terms of I believe they win a bunch of tiebreakers in terms of against the Saints or against the Buccaneers, and I think Saints have the worst tiebreaker record in terms of the Buccaneers and the Falcons. So I would like to say Tampa somehow squeaks out and wins this NFC South division again.
yeah, and I look at like the Falcons, that offense, as you said, they're well put together. Bijan is a beast. You got guys on the outside like Kyle Pitts and Drake London. And then you see Desmond Ritter throwing
Yeah,
picks to Carlton Davis. It's like you can't stare down your receiver anymore. It's so obvious you're going to throw the ball there. He's going to pick it, obviously.
yeah,
And there was that one in the first half where Bijan's wide open and he missed that throw. Like he was going to walk into the end zone. I
mm-hmm.
look at the Falcons as a team. If the Bears go with Caleb, I think it's a no-brainer. If the
Mm-hmm.
Bears go with Caleb, I see Justin Fields doing work in ATL. And that's
Mm-hmm.
another guy that's slowly but surely showing that he can play.
Yeah, yeah, that's an interesting storyline in terms of what the Bears do with Justin Fields, because clearly, as we spoke earlier with Bryce Young and the Panthers, they're terrible. So they're definitely not winning a game, and so that number one seed that goes to the Bears is is going to be the Bears pick, and what they decide to do, and they'll have the leverage, right? They'll have that number one pick, and depending on how they finish up this season, because they are playing well with Justin Fields, they'll probably have another top 10 pick, right? So do they go quarterback, right? And then just go with Caleb and then see how it looks like. But then what do you do with Justin Fields? Atlanta might have to step in there and take that as their quarterback for the future. Because again, Justin Fields is just almost like a better Desmond Ritter. If you look at that, like
Yeah.
he can run, he can move way better than Ritter,
Mhm.
and it looks like he can get the ball down the field just as good, and he doesn't turn over the ball like Ritter, so they can't go wrong there.
Yeah, no, I thought he could only throw the ball to DJ Moore, but you see he's got the ball to a tight end Cole Kmet. So
Yeah,
hey man, slowly this guy is putting like good games together, 200-yard games together through the air. Obviously, we know he can do it his legs. It's just about if he could stay healthy, hey man, he has a bright future in the NFL. Want to
yeah,
get to another black quarterback who's been putting in that work, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. That game was crazy last night. Crazy ending.
yeah,
Tylon Wallace gets the punt
yeah.
return
Punt
for the
return.
win.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
being
I feel
got
like
him.
that's the best way to really close out a game. I think there's a long touchdown pass, there's a long run, but like special teams, that punt return, I don't think there's anything that's that exciting in football to cap off a game.
Because yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is Deshaun Jackson, right? Deshaun
Yeah.
Jackson in the
Against the boys.
Meadowlands.
Yeah, against Giants. Yeah,
Ridiculous. Probably best to me, at least from what I seen, that has to go down as the best play I've seen, man. That guy is electrifying. But I know he's hurting right now because I seen something on Twitter. He had like a 10K bet with Des Bryant for the
it
game
does.
last
Yeah,
night. Yeah. That was jokes. He had the Drewski. He replied with the Drewski when he threw the glass down. He's back.
yeah,
He has to pay up. But yeah, the Ravens, they're at top of the AFC North. I want
Mhm.
to talk about those other teams in
Yeah.
that same division. All of them have backup quarterbacks. Lamar's the only starting quarterback that is healthy. Do you see
Mhm.
any of these teams able to sneak in the playoffs? You see Jake Brown and 2-0 as a starter. Flacco's
Yeah.
been looking good the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Trubisky,
Well,
nah.
he didn't help you guys with a draft pick, that's for sure.
Hey man, I wasn't expecting us to win, but anytime we win, let's
A win's
go.
a win, eh? You're
Win is
not
a
part of the
win.
bandwagon of you want to lose so you can have a good draft pick. You want to win at all costs.
Hey man, Bailey Zappi made a nice touchdown throw. I was like, what is going on? Like Mac Jones is my boy. You know I'm an Alabama guy, but I was like,
Yeah.
damn, you're really gonna do that to Mac?
But yeah, yes, Browning's looking good. Really and truly, I think Ravens will secure that division for sure.
Mhm.
I don't think any of the teams below them, the Steelers, are taking a step back. They might end up being last place in that division after starting off with all these wins. Um, I think the Bengals are going to take a step up because I just think they have a team around them and they have enough talent that they can make Browning's job a bit easy, similar to the Niners with Brock Purdy. But I won't take it that far because Brock Purdy is looking like an MVP. But again, I think if with the coaching and with talent, the Bengals could secure a playoff berth possibly, um, and be second, find themselves second in that division.
Yeah, no, as you mentioned, the weapons, right?
Mhm.
Like T Higgins, we didn't know if he was gonna get back, but he only caught two passes yesterday, but he's showing that he still has the speed to get down the field. I think he had like 72 or 75 yards.
Yeah.
Chase is obviously a top five receiver and Mixon running the ball. So yeah, they definitely are heading in the right direction. Okay. Huge call last night. Actually, huge play.
Mhm.
Bro, Travis Kelce, the NFL's golden child, showed how you secure a billionaire.
Jeez.
Like T
Yeah.
Swift, that's what, bro. T Swift is never leaving. How do you even make that lateral pass?
Yeah.
The
Yeah. He's
vision,
different.
the accuracy, the time of the game. Nah,
Yeah.
this guy's winning, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, to think like that, like in the heat of the moment, like we're both athletes and we've been in those pressurized moments, and we would always tend to lean to safety, right? We're not
Mm,
going to be one to like, kick it all the way back to the keeper or whatever the case
nah.
may be, right? We're going to keep it safe, catch the ball, go down, but Travis Kelsey is different, man. He got T Swift. He's feeling himself. He can't lose at this point, but don't let Tony get in the way.
Can't let Tony get in. And not only was it so brutal that it happened at that moment of the game, but we've seen this happen before. You remember week 1 against the Lions? He
Yeah.
made that crucial drop. It's an ongoing story. When is Andy Reid gonna like? If you're Andy Reid, are you cutting this guy or do you keep a guy like this? Because this is not looking good.
Honestly, the Chiefs are a tough team to read. Like you can say all this, right? But then if you look back into the Super Bowl, the plays that Tony did have were crucial, right? We see the Chiefs in the regular season, they have these bonehead plays, and then they get down to big games in the playoffs and players show up. But again, who knows, right? The way it's looking, it doesn't look like the AFC will be going to Arrowhead if this keeps up, right? So if we never see Mahomes on the road, so that could be a changing factor to this dynasty, right?
I think about Mahomes and his temper tantrum yesterday. I think it was just because he didn't want to get at his teammate. So he had to take it out on somebody else, right?
Yeah,
Because it's obviously that Tony was offside, but he didn't want to take it out on his teammate. He just wanted to take it out on the refs. So he brought it to the refs. And yeah, it just is what it is. He's mad that they lost. And yeah, I think that's why he did that. But at the end of the day, you have to look at it. Him and Josh Allen, he doesn't have a great record against Josh Allen, man. So I know that also is another factor that it's not easy to beat Josh Allen. We're 3-3. So a lot of factors. It's not just the refs, the rivalry that they have, the losing streak that they're on. So it's a lot of things built up. It's accumulation of things why he was going off like that.
Yeah. Do you think the Chiefs will be able to find their footing and attempt to challenge the Ravens for the number 1 seed? Or do you think that number 1 seed in the AFC is between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, it's clearly between the Dolphins and the Ravens, 100%. Chiefs are going to be on the road this playoffs, and they better get it together because your old coach is putting in that work. They're on a win. They're winning a lot now. They're over 500 now. I think they're only 1 game behind the Chiefs. So the Chiefs better turn things around because around and the Broncos are going to win that division, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
not wrong, man. You're not wrong. Again, they beat them, right? So yeah.
So no, that's exactly where I'm going with it. Again, it would be harsh to cut Tony, but as you mentioned, in the Super Bowl, he had huge plays, and it's not like the Chiefs have much else at that position. So you're probably gonna have to stick with the young fella.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right. Last night, obviously Sunday night football, Eagles, Cowboys. I've been telling y'all, if Dak wins this game, I'll say he's for real. And Dak went out and he won that game.
Yeah.
It's between him and Brock. It's between
him and Brock
who's getting MVP.
Again, my pick was Hurts, and that's out the door. So it's looking between Dak and Purdy, and we'll see who is able to, I guess, solidify the number 1 seed in the NFC. That will be your MVP, and easy to say, but I don't know.
I think that Dak can sign, seal, and deliver that MVP trophy.
Wow.
If no. If
okay.
Because look at the schedule. Now it's getting tough, right?
Yeah.
They're answering the call. They answered the call against the Eagles. Next week, they have to answer the call against the Bills. And then they have to answer the call again against the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So they answer all those calls. Oh, Dak's winning it for sure.
Yeah.
Dak's winning it for sure just because of the competition, right?
Right.
But again, we could go on about MVP. I want to talk about the defenses. Defenses between the Niners, the 2 top teams in NFC, the Niners and the Cowboys. You seen Hufanga? He went out. He's out for the season. And the Niners, they patched up that hole. They're looking even better. And you've seen with the Cowboys, Diggs, he went out. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
And they got Duran
Gilmore's coming,
Landon.
stepping up. Yeah.
And he's looking like their
Your
defense is
guy.
almost
Your
looking
guy.
better. If you had to
Yeah.
pick, talk to me about these defenses, man.
Oh man, it's yeah, Niners. I can't find someone that's a better unit than the Niners because you look at their front. You have Bosa on one end, you have Chase Young on the other, you have Jason Hargreaves in the middle, clogging things up, and the linebacking core with Fred Warner back there. Like you can't find much around that's better than that, really and
Best
truly. Like
linebacker in the
this,
league, easy, hands
yeah,
down.
exactly. So again, I would have to tip my hat to the Niners, even though Dallas they're playing phenomenal. Like their ability to create turnovers with Bland or Gilmore or just force fumbles or Parsons creating pressure. Honest or Lawrence, really and truly, like that team is dangerous, especially when they get on that turf in Cowboy Stadium. They're a tough team to go against, really and truly. And we saw that, right? The Eagles couldn't score a touchdown. They didn't score an offensive touchdown. The only touchdown came from the fumble return, right? So again, both those defenses are phenomenal for really and truly. I'll tip my cap to the Niners, but if we're looking at defensive play of the year, for me, we'll have to go to the AFC. Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett,
Oh,
really and truly.
Garrett, huh?
Myles Garrett is having a hell of a season. He's always had a hell of a season, and I guess it's getting kind of overshadowed
Oh,
because the
yeah.
Browns are a bit like not as good as a team because they had lost Watson and everything. So, but again, the defense is still making plays, right? And I think that the Browns were able to make some noise with their defense, led by Myles Garrett. And if Flacco could relive his Baltimore Ravens days, maybe they make some noise, right?
Yeah, so I think, well, Miles Garrett has more sacks than Parsons. Parsons has 12.5, Garrett has 13. And the reason why I feel like people gravitate more towards Parsons is because he's on
Dallas.
America's team. Exactly. He's
Yeah.
on America's team, right? And AFC North football, it's rugged, it's
Mm-hmm.
physical, it's
It's
not
not
high
pretty.
school. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Football's not for everybody. And the
Mm-hmm.
AFC North is definitely not for everybody. But yeah, you see the pressure that he puts on the quarterbacks. He didn't have a sack yesterday, but he's putting up pressure on the quarterbacks. And you have guys like Emerson getting picks now. You have
Mm-hmm.
the other corner getting picks, Newsome getting picks. So
Yeah.
not even their top corner played yesterday, Denzel Ward. And
Yeah.
the pressure Myles Garrett's putting on you, even backups are able to get picks. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think Myles Garrett, he for me, he is the front runner.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how both these guys end off the season, how high in total sacks they get. But yeah, man, Myles Garrett, Makai Parsons, those are my top two. Those are my top two guys right now. Okay, I know we've been talking about defense and all that, but I don't. It's just a defensive year, man. There's not a lot
Yeah.
of points, and
Oh God, don't
there
get me
was
started.
barely any points in one game yesterday. 3-0, bro. Nah, Jay. Honestly, there's Devonte Adams on the field. There's Josh Jacobs on the field. There's Justin Jefferson, Jettas, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson. Three
Yeah.
to zero,
Yeah.
bro. I don't want to see Josh Dobbs or Aiden McConnell starting as quarterbacks next year.
On turf. Okay, there's no wind. There's no snow, bad weather. We're inside a nice Vegas stadium, and people are in Vegas to see a show, right? People come, they fly into Vegas, they want to see a show. They're here to party, have a good time, and we get a 3-0 performance like this is the EPL, like it's Man City versus Manchester United.
Bro, Fulham
It's a
scored more
joke.
goals yesterday.
Fulham scored more goals. Fulham, like what is going on here? And I'm I want to go on a rant because I do a pick 'em pool because I'm heavily invested in football, of course, as you can see.
Oh yeah.
And I had the Vikings in my pool. It had them at favored by 3.5, and they get an opportunity. They get a big turnover at the end of the game. They're in the red zone, and there's almost like 40 seconds left. Instead of them making a touchdown score difference, they punt the ball from field goal range just to run some clock. What's the point of that? We're in Vegas. Let's get some points on the board, fellas. Come on.
That's crazy. It actually doesn't even add up, man. It doesn't add up. Like as a coach, as an organization, offensive players, aren't you like on your coach? Like, bro, what are we doing, man?
Yeah,
Like
like I'm
we're
trying to
on
score.
the
Like, what are we
road.
doing?
Let's run up the score. Let's just get points. Like
Yeah, we're not
offensive.
practicing here.
No, no, man. That's yeah. And Jetas, he got hurt. So the Josh Dobbs run seems like it's done, man.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you
The
seen him get
astronaut
benched.
has
Nick
come.
Mullins.
The astronaut has landed. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, you see, Nick Mullins had to come in. And you know when Nick Mullins is coming in, like he's
yeah,
been on every team. Once he's coming in, you know whoever he's replacing is done.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
like that's
Yeah, they tied that. They tied the NFL score right for lowest score.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's literally not good enough. I want to get back to one game that we just mentioned, the Cowboys and Eagles.
Mhm.
So to start the year, like AJ Brown, he was going on this crazy run of games with I think it was 125 receiving yards. He was just
Mhm.
off. And
Yeah,
he's kind of quieted down a bit. And
yeah.
you see a guy that's kind of skyrocketed is like another guy in that game, CeeDee Lamb.
Mhm.
For the longest time, I had AJ Brown as a better
Over.
receiver. I had AJ Brown over CeeDee Lamb
Yeah,
all
yeah,
year.
yeah.
But recently, it's looking like CeeDee's that guy. CeeDee, he doesn't drop the ball. His body language is fine. You see if like that gives him a bad ball, he's not saying anything. But you see AJ with Jalen
Yeah, yeah.
like throwing up his arms in the air, making
Mhm.
a scene. I have
Stomping
CD,
back. Yeah.
yeah, talking back. I have CD over AJ right now. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, really and truly, right now we have to put it as Tyreek Hill is 1A and CD Lamb is 1B. That's how I'm seeing it right now. Aside from Jetta's being hurt and Chase is definitely in the discussion, but 1A, 1B right now is I have Tyreek Hill and 'cause a few weeks ago it was AJ Brown. If you
AJ Brown.
if you talk about it, but like really and truly, you can't take what CD Lamb is doing away, right? And he's just going off each and every game. And I know because I have him as a fantasy owner on my team, and he shows up each and every week.
Nah, I hear you. Keenan was up there also, but with Justin Herbert as your quarterback, you're gonna have some weeks with
And Stanley, I'm surprised we haven't got a notification saying Brandon Stanley is parting ways with the Los Angeles Chargers.
yeah. Well, of course it would be worded like that because look at him, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
exactly.
but hey, man, it's not all on him, man. Justin Herbert, I know he's out now, broken finger,
Finger,
but
yeah.
even before that, he wasn't really looking like an elite quarterback.
I
He
mean, remember we had the conversation a few episodes
yeah,
talking about Brock Purdy and Herbert,
yeah.
right? And then whether if Herbert was a top 10 quarterback or not. And your analysis is looking kind of accurate there.
Yeah, no, I'm not high on Herbert. All those guys he has very minimal production. And yeah, that's just how I feel about it. But let's talk about tonight. We have some picks, two games, Monday Night Football. All right, let's start with MVP candidate. I'm telling you, if he breaks Calvin Johnson's record,
They're
he's
still
my
not going to give it to
MVP.
him. It's unfortunate.
He's
They're
my
still not going to give it
MVP.
to him.
You still think so, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it's a quarterback league. It's unfortunate, but I think, like I said, if he breaks the record, he goes off today, 120 yards, whatever the case might be, touchdown, which is it's probably going to happen.
Mm.
Um, it's hard for me to not look at him as the MVP, but that's why they have the Offensive Player of the Year award just to give it to a player that's not a quarterback, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this game's in Miami
Mm-hmm.
against the Titans. Two touchdowns. They have
Yeah,
them
big
beating them
spread.
by
Yeah,
two 14-point spread.
yeah, it's a big one.
You have the Dolphins covering that?
Yeah, I do. I do. Unfortunately, I just don't think they're the midseason Hard Knocks team. They have all the attention on them. They want to make a statement. They want that number one seed, and I think they will run up the score unless Titans are able to score as well to keep up. I think this game's a blow. I'm gonna go like let's go 35-10.
Yeah, and I think they have that extra motivation because everyone's in Miami this weekend, the Art
Yeah,
Basel. So you know
yeah,
they're
it's
just
lit.
trying to go
Yeah,
off,
yeah,
show
exactly.
everybody that hey, Miami is for real. It's a football city also. So yeah,
Yeah.
I agree that they cover that spread, man. The next game not as exciting, but a team that is showing some promise, a quarterback that is showing.
Dorito, you know what it is.
Yo, man, I wasn't gonna talk about that guy. I was talking about Jay Love, but hey, DeVito is looking good too, man. DeVito's
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
good too. I would never call him a franchise quarterback. Let's not get that twisted. But Jordan Love, him and his Packers, they're going into New York Giants MetLife Stadium. Do you see them covering the 6 points against the Giants?
This one interesting because I can see it going either way because I feel like the Packers are definitely on an upward trend.
Mhm.
And they're playing better. Jordan Love's playing better, and again, they might have some motivation here to challenge the Lions that are on a downward trend, taking some bad losses. Challenge the Lions for the division, right? So I think they'll be motivated. I'm not sure if Aaron Jones is healthy.
He's out.
He
He's out
might
tonight.
be. He's out as well, so
Yeah.
that makes it a bit tougher. But again, their receivers have, and then Watson's also out, right? He suffered an injury.
I'm not sure about Watson, but hey, man, they have guys. Like they have
They
like
do,
they're not household names, but Dobbs is
yeah,
doing well. Reed is doing well.
yeah, yeah, and they can always run the ball with AJ Dillon.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting. But for some reason, I want to take the Giants and the points. I just feel like that New York crowd will get behind them. If the defense is able to make some plays, if Tommy DeVito's not turning over the ball and Saquon's just able to run the ball, man, hey, anything's possible in New York.
Yeah, DeVito. Hey, that's not honestly like I think that this is like New York. This is a bad season for them, but you need a spark, right? And a
Yeah.
guy with a name like that, a guy that's still getting his covers, his mom to do his covers, make his
Mhm.
bed, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you need this. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I rate that there's some life in New York because you seen what Zach Wilson did yesterday.
Exactly.
So there's
Right.
some life in New York, but these teams aren't gonna make the playoffs. But if New
No.
York is not popping and LA is not popping, is sports really legit? Is it
Well, we saw the Lakers win. We saw the Lakers win the in-season tournament. So you know how
hey,
that goes.
hey, Bron's doing some crazy stuff, man. Bron's doing some crazy stuff, man. It's like when you think about this era, and it's like not
Yeah.
even close. You see how like back then with MJ, it was like there's no one even near this guy how good he is.
Yeah.
With Bron in this era, there's
Yeah.
nobody even close to him, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, man. That yeah.
Adam Silver's not gonna let him leave, and that's why Adam Silver has him winning tournaments and winning championships,
Yeah,
man. Like, yo,
yeah,
Bron, you keep
yeah.
doing this.
Nah, man, it's true. But it's Jayo Stole Sports, my boy Jay Lynch on
Sure.
in on this, man. You already know. Gonna holler at you next one. Please subscribe. Please comment, like, tell a friend, tell a friend. We out ski.
There.